That pause is the detail this story is really about, not because it was dramatic, but because of what it revealed about the position Zhang Linghe is now standing in, both on camera and off it. The moment happened during the season finale of Let's Start Deduction Season 4, in the show's final case of the run. Earlier in the segment, Zhang Linghe and fellow cast member Ding Chengxian had proposed a reasoning shortcut for the group's deduction exercise: judge the answer using the principle of small, soft, pretty, and delicate. It was a throwaway logic tool, meant to speed through a puzzle, not a statement either of them expected to be held to later. Cast member Jin Ting noticed it immediately, and she waited. When the moment came, she turned the group's own reasoning back on him. If that principle decided the right answer, she asked, then between herself and fellow cast member Zhang Ruonan, who would he choose? It was not a romantic question, and nothing in the exchange suggested it was meant as one. It was a game show trap, built entirely from the logic he and Ding Chengxian had handed her seconds earlier. But it worked exactly the way a good trap works. There was no answer that didn't sound wrong, because the rule being applied had never been designed to survive contact with a real choice. Zhang Linghe, who seconds before had been speaking easily, stalled. His eyebrows pulled together. He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. What finally came out, after a noticeably long beat, was one plain sentence: "I've hit an obstacle." Online reaction framed the moment as instantly relatable, the universal experience of realizing, mid-sentence, that every possible response leads somewhere worse. That reading says more about the format of the show than about Zhang Linghe himself. Deduction-style variety programs are built to manufacture exactly this kind of unscripted exposure, where a cast member's real-time thinking becomes the content, not a rehearsed line. The show's producers didn't write him a punchline. They built a structure where a smart, fast-talking guest could still get cornered by his own logic, and then they simply pointed a camera at what happened next. That is the detail worth sitting with for a second. The show didn't need a scripted twist. It needed a genuine, visible moment of a performer running out of safe options in front of a live audience. And that only works as entertainment if the person on the other end of the question actually has something to lose by answering carelessly, a public image, a fan base watching for how he handles pressure, a persona that gets shaped in exactly these unscripted seconds as much as in any promotional interview. There's also a quieter piece of context worth noting before moving on. Zhang Linghe and Jin Ting have worked together before, on the variety project Feather Cloud, and the dynamic on display in this finale, her setting up a trap, him getting caught in it, the whole exchange playing out like an ongoing bit between colleagues who know each other's rhythms, reads far more like the established back and forth of two cast members comfortable enough to needle each other on camera than like anything spontaneous. That distinction matters for how the clip should be read. It wasn't a stranger cornering him. It was a familiar castmate using a familiar dynamic, which is exactly why the moment landed as entertainment instead of as tension. Which is where the second part of this week's Zhang Linghe coverage becomes relevant, because it points to exactly what that something to lose actually looks like once it takes a commercial form. On August 15th, multiple Weibo accounts began circulating a number, 95,000 yuan, described as the going rate for a paid photo opportunity with Zhang Linghe. It read like an official fan event price list, the kind of figure that gets screenshot and shared as if it came from his own team. It didn't. Industry-side commentary quickly traced the figure back to a brand appearance he made in Hangzhou, and at least one blogger clarified directly that this was not an artist-sanctioned paid photo session, and that Zhang Linghe himself was not the one setting or receiving that price. What the number actually represents is a resale markup, set by scalpers working the edges of a public brand event, people who secure or claim close access positions near the guest and then resell that access to fans willing to pay for proximity. Before his recent costume drama became a breakout hit, industry sources described this same kind of access changing hands for around 40,000 yuan, already a notable sum, but one that reflected a smaller, more contained level of public interest. After the drama's release turned his profile into something closer to a mainstream name, that price more than doubled. Look at what actually shifted between those two numbers. Nothing about Zhang Linghe's schedule, contract, or brand relationships necessarily changed in that window. What changed was audience size and demand. The markup isn't a fee he set, and it isn't revenue his team collects, it's a secondary market pricing his own visibility back to fans who want proximity to it, with him earning nothing from the transaction and holding no real control over it. That is the part of sudden fame that rarely makes it into a headline. The moment an artist becomes commercially valuable enough to be genuinely famous is also the moment strangers start monetising access to him without his involvement, consent, or oversight. It is not a crime, and it is far from unique to him. A separate actor, Liu Yuning, has previously had to publicly deny similar rumors, stating on record that he has never charged for personal photos and that most images of him circulating online are simply frames taken during broadcast tapings or brand events rather than paid one-on-one sessions. The pattern is familiar enough across the industry that Zhang Linghe's team appears to have responded to it in a practical, unglamorous way, rather than a dramatic one, added security at public appearances. Reported reasoning centers less on abstract crowd safety concerns and more on a concrete risk, protecting him, and the high-value clothing and accessories he wears for these events, from the physical crush that naturally comes with a larger, more determined audience. There's an audience dimension to this too, one that international viewers following Cient are well positioned to notice even if domestic coverage rarely spells it out. Scalper markups tied to meet and greet access aren't unique to Chinese entertainment, but the speed at which a rumored price can circulate, get treated as fact, and then require an on-record correction from an unrelated blogger is a distinctly platform-driven problem. Weibo's structure rewards exactly this kind of fast, unverified number, a round figure, a famous name, a screenshot that looks official enough not to be questioned. The correction usually arrives, as it did here, but only after the number has already traveled far past the people capable of correcting it. Put those two stories next to each other and a clearer shape starts to appear. On the show, the risk was reputational and immediate, one unscripted sentence, captured live, edited and shared within hours, with no way to quietly take it back. Off the show, the risk is commercial and slower moving, a market forming around his image that he did not create, did not price, and cannot fully police, no matter how his team responds to it. Neither of these stories is really a scandal in the traditional sense. Both are surface expressions of the same underlying fact. Zhang Linghe's rising profile has increased the value of everything connected to him, from a 2-second pause on a game show to a 5-minute window of physical proximity at a brand event. That reframes the "I've hit an obstacles" moment. It wasn't just a funny beat engineered for a variety show. It was a visible, low-stakes example of what happens to public figures once every reaction becomes something worth capturing, clipping, and circulating. A stumble that would have gone almost entirely unnoticed at an earlier, smaller stage of his career becomes, at this stage, a moment thousands of people describe as relatable precisely because so many viewers were now watching closely enough to catch it in the first place. None of this suggests Zhang Linghe is in any unusual danger, and a single rumored price and a single game show pause don't establish some sweeping rule about how the entertainment industry treats every rising star. One case is one case, and it should be read as one case. What the available evidence does show, fairly directly, is how two very different kinds of pressure, a live camera on a variety set and an unregulated resale market outside a brand event, can appear in the same week, for the same underlying reason, a career that has recently crossed into a different tier of visibility, and hasn't fully caught up to what that visibility costs yet. The obstacle he hit on camera and the price tag strangers attached to standing near him off camera aren't really separate stories, even though they were reported that way. They're two readings of the same signal. When an audience grows large enough, both a person's words and a person's physical proximity start carrying a market value that has very little to do with what that person actually intended, said, or agreed to. If you like entertainment coverage that looks past the headline for the quieter signal underneath it, that's the whole reason Rabbit News Hallyu exists. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just updates.